Hey guys, good morning. I had a request for CASY. This is actually something that a store that I've actually never, or a ticker I've never heard about before, but I actually really like it. I expected this to be one of those tickers that are at 194, but they were at like $1,000 before. But no, it's been, I love when you guys give me tickers to do TA on when it's just a consistent, gradual rise, right, in price. So if you look at the monthly. Whoops, let me see. If you look at the monthly, it's just been a consistent, gradual trending up price. And I love that because it shows me that, everybody in my Patreon is actually looking at tickers that have a consistent, growth chart, which is fantastic because in the long run, if you just hold, you're going to end up making money either way. Again, for the most part, we're just looking at entries, right? That's really it. You're looking at whether, you have a good entry, whether you should sell, if it's going to go down. But for the most part, if you're just investing in generally a good chart, right, that's been going up for years essentially, right, ever since 2007, all they've seen is just growth, from $27 to where they are now. It's been pretty consistent, and the only drops that they've had are, back in the actual for the pandemic, and then you've had just random drops like this, right? So for the most part, you are looking at a pretty consistent ticker right now. And even on the monthly, because it's holding support right here and it's pretty close to the previous support of the stochastic, I'd be longing this. I mean, I don't even have to do too much TA on this. This looks like a really big long. It looks like, well, not a really big long. This looks like a really good buy entry point. I think it's gonna bounce from here, especially because you're already seeing, watch, you actually had a bear trigger on September 7th, right? So you actually closed the bear week last week. And even already, you're actually looking at a weekend bull momentum or weekend bear momentum, right? So it's really, really good, especially when you're hitting support of that 194 level. And I don't even need to do support and resistance zones here because I can already tell you, I see CASY just going up. Especially right now would probably be a really good setup to buy. And I actually looked at this before I started this TA, and you got to remember, if you're part of the Patreon, you have my indicators, right? So it essentially would be a really, really, really good, you already have like 90% of the way through. So all you would have to do really is look at previous historical runs of where we would currently be, right? So the stochastic, you can see it kind of being in like the oversold area on the bottom part, closer to the 10-20 area of the stochastic, which would sort of be considered oversold. And what happened last time when you were oversold and you created a bullish push, right? So what happened here? You have the bullish trigger for the weekly, oversold in the stochastic. What does it like to do, right? July 19th, you went up from lows of 192 to highs of 207. So that is a what? That's a $19 move, right? Again, look for instances of that same exact historical event. So what happened here? Bullish close on the week, you're oversold and you're headed back up. What happened on April 13th, right? 142 all the way up to 173. So a nice $30 move. Again, just look at historical moves. Bullish close on the week, you went down to the oversold level, came back up on the stoke. What happened here? January what? 6th, the week, you closed, or you went from lows of 158, to roughly, let's go right here, to roughly highs of like 173. So a nice $10+ move. And again, look how consistent it is. And keep in mind that every single ticker is going to have a certain pattern, and it's up to you to actually find it. So again, here, you created bottoms on the stochastic, bullish week closed, and then what happened? You went from lows of 161 to highs of 177. So a nice $10 move. And you can forecast this, right? You can forecast to see how much of a movement are, and to expect a movement from where current price is, right? So again, oversold on the stoke, closed a bullish week on May 7th. Again, what is the low, or what is the median range? $99. You rallied all the way here, right? Before you went to like 112, so you moved $10. So that is what your forecast should be. It seems like, I mean, you can go back and use the forecast tool to see what the average range is in time, but it looks like every single time you have the stoke on the oversold level and you close a bullish week, from those lows, from that week low, you can expect a nice $10 move to the upside. So if you do close, you know, keep in mind the low right now is on that wick, right? You're looking at the low of the wick, 190. So if you do close a bullish week sometime this week or next week, if you close this week bullish, then you're using that 190 level to determine a $10 price point, right? In which case you would actually think that it's going back to around 200 bucks. If you were to close next week bullish, you would use that candle's lowest point, which is the wick, and move up, right? But generally it likes to move $10 after it closes a bullish week, and it looks like it's going to happen either sometime, not this week. I don't think this week it'll close bullish unless it has a huge move to the upside, but it does look like possibly next week you'll have a bullish close of the week, and it seems like it'll move, you know, $10 within that set time range, right? And if you ask me on Patreon, it means you have my indicator. So go back, you know, do the forecast, look how long it actually takes for, you know, on average those historical moves to go, those $10 runs to run up to the upside, and then, you know, make your forecast. I think right now CASY's is a perfectly good setup to kind of set up your chart and then just kind of wait it out to see when that actual bullish trigger happens for the week, when we actually close bullish, and then that's going to be your entry, and then your forecast would be $10 away from whatever the lowest point of that week was after it actually closes bullish. So I'll see you guys later. CASY's really good long-term support. I think CASY's, I've never heard of the store before, but generally it looks like it's doing a really good job at staying consistent and just moving up to the upside, because it has done, you know, essentially a 400% gain ever, you know, in the last 10 years or so, which is not bad at all. So, you know, keep a lookout for this one. Long term, I definitely think it's a solid company. Fundamentals seem to be there because you have a consistent growth on the chart, and even right now, possibly being, you know, closing on the bullish week, the historical pattern is there where it likes to run about $10+ after that bullish week close. So I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.